You know, I say. Oh, where am I to?
Where are you up to?
Ah, here. Won't one of you carry this duck? It's heavy. Awfully heavy. And hand it to Peter. A great yellow bird. But even as Peter looked at something strange thing happened. The bird's beak, legs, then tail disappeared. And all that was left was a great deal of yellow stuff that in about as Peter's hands. Slid in Peter's hands. Ow! Cried, it's cold, it's ice cream. Can't hold it. You must, shouted Chinky and Molly and Auntie and Molly did the best to hold nothing, but it was no good to the ground and began to melt. There goes our chair, said Chinky.
Sorrowfully.
It's
a hard word.
Very. What does that say?
Sorrowfully. It looks
so awfully.
It looks as if... sorrowfully, yeah, that means sadly.
Sorrowfully. It looks as if we are holding them. First, it turned into a dog, then a duck, and now it's into ice cream. This is a horrible adventure. They left the melting ice cream, and we went on down the street. Peter looked in his bag of green peas. He looked at them again. They had turned into tiny balloons, ready to be blown up. He gave one to Chinky and one to Molly. They began to blow them up. But oh dear, instead of blowing up the balloons, they blew themselves up. Yes, they really did. Peter stared, but he couldn't stop them. They were Ollie and Chinky's two big balloons staying out into the air, and he even had strange ties about in the air. They even had strange ties to them. Peter was blow away. So he took hold of the strings, but down the street along, very puzzled and unhappy. Nothing seemed like the land of dreams. Was they particularly needed?
Peculiar, indeed.
Indeed. The land of dreams was very peculiar indeed. The two enormous balloons floated along behind him, and when he turned to have a look, it shook.
What a shock.
What a shock he had. They were not in the love Chinky and Molly anymore. Once was green and one was blue, and even as Peter stared at them, the air began to explode for each balloon. What was the shock, Daddy?
The air started to get out of each balloon.
And then quickly grew smaller and smaller and smaller, and soon they were just tiny lumps of rubber. What about Chinky and Molly.